Okay, YouTube, this is Acid Roots. I've got a Krizz Kaliko review, and that is the album Shock Treatment. Now, this came out in 2010, and he had basically dropped an album every year since 2008, and this release was another manic project, and also something that's just electrifying, high voltage type stuff. I've been known to like Krizz Kaliko albums, the one I did with Jackal Gold Kick, and then this one, and then the Vitiligo album. So between all of those, he has a pretty good track record from what I've heard. Now, the best part about that is his listens are pretty, I mean, they're definitely a nice treat, but you have to like Tech N9ne, and I feel like that's not always the case, but it helps if you've already gotten used to him. Now, Krizz Kaliko standing on his own, he's able to do it, and some of the guests that you're going to find on here are Tech N9ne, who appears several times, Brother Lynch, Big Scoob, Cut Calhoun, and Stevie Stone. The gang's all here. I think Irv the Phenom, I'm not sure how to say his name, but he is also on here. And there's loads of songs. This is a 16-song project, a little bit different from the 12-song format that I've been used to so lately, but this album handles it and starts it off with songs like Get Around and Elevator. Now, both of these are nice. They sound... The thing about Krizz Kaliko is he does a club record extremely well. He's probably one of the best ones. When I say in some of my reviews that certain rap artists do singles better than other people in the mainstream, Krizz Kaliko is an example of someone who does this. I feel like Tech N9ne makes anthems for alcohol and club sounding records, but Krizz Kaliko takes it a step further by making his production a lot darker and more moody. And when this happens, you just get something that sounds like a more head trip than you may realize. And, you know, with Tech N9ne, I still feel like, you know, maybe this dark approach, maybe he realizes that, you know, somehow the darker you sound, the less mainstream you're going to be. But Krizz Kaliko really didn't give a shit. So Get Around and Elevator are both some of these, but then there's loads of these type songs. I feel like some of the best examples of this dark club music is Rejection and Alive, and then you add in the fact that he's a good hook artist and can sing, and it's hypnotic. And so between that, like I said, the Strange Music crew is here. Brother Lynch was on Tech N9ne's label around this time, but he shows up on a kind of weak song. That's one of the few songs I didn't appreciate. But other than that, you know, the Stevie Stone song sounded pretty dark, and I think really a lot of folks will probably like that. It's not just dark that I'm looking for, it's just the idea of the production being fitting for the song, and you have to wonder where you're going to listen to it. And, you know, wherever it is, backyards, front yards, walking up the street, living rooms, parks, you know, any of these places, the music is a good find for this. So it's ideal for, you know, having a good time. But really, Krizz Kaliko did not really take that many songs to reflect on it, and this is really a no holds barred record the whole way through. And that's kind of the thing. This is what I was obsessed with when I first started Acid Roots, is this kind of music right here. I'm glad to be getting back to Krizz. So, you know, songs for strip clubs, this sort of music, it's all on here. The songs you need to hear out of 16, 11 of them were ones I liked and you need to hear. So those are Simon Says, Get Around, Elevator, Scallywag, Stripper Dance, Get It Girl, All Gas No Brakes, Freaks, Rejection, Alive, and Hardcore. So, you know, you take the guess when you add that in there, and that's kind of an extra bit, but it's just the whole trip. The whole album basically is. I like the idea of Shock Treatment. This is definitely one of those projects. This is one of the better releases. I'm definitely going to say, I reviewed some music and I've said that it's, you know, it kind of lags along and it's not extensive, but this is a project that, you know, is kind of head and shoulders above some other rap releases. Now, obviously, I say that, but then I wind up scoring a lot of rap high, but this is one that, you know, I would check out to start with, and if you do that, it'll basically blow out your candle. So, this album gets a 9 out of 10. Social Score gets a 7, because there were 2 singles. Really, if you like Tech N9ne, you like Krizz. And I recommend seeking this guy out to find out about him further. Obviously, if you know who Krizz is, it works like magic then. And so, can this record be topped? Not really. 11 out of 16. You don't find that too often. And the future Krizz Kaliko dropped an R&B styled album back in the spring of this year. So check that out also, and I might review it.